Have you ever had a conversation that changed your life? Well, I have, and it changed the way that I write forever. I guess it was about late 2015, and I had a conversation with a colleague that absolutely changed the way that I approach writing. And I want to share that with you. It's simple, it's easy, and yet it was immensely profound for me. This conversation was such that I don't remember it. I don't remember the words that were said. I don't remember any questions that my colleague asked me. I don't really remember any of the specifics around it, but I remember walking away from it thinking, if I am going to be a writer, I need to write. And that really was the beginning. That was the beginning of this whole 500 a word day thing. It was the idea that if I wanted to call myself a writer, that I needed to be writing consistently. That's it. That was it. From that point, I thought about it for a few weeks, and then I decided beginning in the next year, it was close to the end of the year, and beginning the next year, I was going to write 500 words every single day. And I did. For the next 365 days, I wrote 500 words a day. Now, I wasn't working on a book at that point. I wasn't working on any sort of a writing project. It was just this idea that if I wanted to be a writer, that I needed to be writing. And so I started a journal, and I just started pouring 500 words a day into it. Occasionally, I would do an academic journal article that I would work on, and I would work on it 500 words at a time. Sometimes I would put other thoughts together, and I would count that as my 500 words. But every single day for an entire year, I wrote at least 500 words a day. Now, I didn't write a book that year. I just wrote. But what I did was I began to learn the skills of how to be a writer who does write books. That's where it all started for me. And interestingly enough, it wasn't very long after that I was at a conference for the counseling profession, the American Counseling Association conference. And at that national conference, there were editors there who were looking for people to write books. And an editor contacted me and said, hey, if you're interested in writing something, anything, let me know, and let's see if we can work on a book project together. They came to me, but I was ready because I already knew I could write a book because I had been writing every single day for a year. At that point, it was probably closer to 2 years, but I'd been writing, and I knew that I could get up and in 30 minutes a day, I could do some writing. And by doing that every day for 100 days, I could put together a book draft. I'll tell you about how that project went in another video. It was amazing. Such a good experience. But I just wanted to share with you today that one conversation can make a pivotal difference in your life. And for me, that pivotal difference was writers write. And that's what I'm encouraging you to do today. Could you write 500 words a day for a year? How about for 100 days? Try it with me and see if it doesn't work.